Have you caught yourself scrolling through Zillow like you're on TikTok? Nearly 97% of homebuyers start by looking at homes online or on the apps. It can be as addictive as social media. Some literally spend years browsing homes before they get serious about buying. But would it be fair to say that browsing and buying are two very different things? Once you decide to actually buy a home, the search should be strategic. The most common mistakes happen when buyers skip ahead and jump straight into touring homes and making offers. Small decisions early on shape the home buying experience, your finances, your lifestyle, and whether the home you buy is actually a good fit. Welcome back. We've already covered choosing the right realtor, getting pre-approved, and understanding your financing. We also discussed how much money you really need up front. Now I'm going to show you how to strategically search for a home, not emotionally and not like we're swiping through a dating app. You want your search to be intentional so you don't waste time, miss great homes, or fall in love with something that was never really a good fit. Hi, I'm Brandon King, realtor in Oregon and Washington. When we search for a home, we don't just hop on Zillow. To find the right home, we need to start with a clear understanding about what's really important to you. We start with what your life really looks like, and when we have a clear vision, we can make a plan to help you find your next home. What does your week actually look like? Where do you work, and what time are you commuting? Is the school your kids attend a major priority, and where are their activities? Is the feel of the neighborhood more important? Walkability, restaurants, bars, coffee shops, and live music? Or is privacy more important than proximity? Do you want a big yard for kids, pets, gardening, and entertaining? Chickens? Would you prefer minimal upkeep so your weekends are actually free? Or a home where you can lock the door and travel for as long as you wish? Do you work from home and need the privacy of an office? Maybe you regularly host guests. Here's a great question for those with older family members. Does anyone in the household or future household have mobility issues that might require a bedroom and full bathroom on the main floor? These questions impact your search more than individual features ever will. Remember, this isn't just about finding a cute house. It's also about finding a home where your life fits best. If you're looking for a home near Portland, one of the first decisions is Oregon or Washington. That decision can have long-term financial impact. Oregon has no sales tax. Washington has no state income tax. And if you work and live in Washington, there can be meaningful income tax advantages. Property taxes are also often a lot lower in Southwest Washington. On the flip side, Oregon's lack of sales tax can save you thousands, especially on vehicle purchases and home improvements that you can't easily cross the river to purchase. This is not tax advice, and there are many reasons you might choose one state over the other, but it's something to consider, and you might want to have a quick call with your tax professional. This decision may impact your long-term financial picture. In the Portland metro, distance does not equal drive time. There's a reason they call it Bridge City. A home that looks close on a map may add 20 to 30 minutes to your daily commute during rush hour. Bridges, tunnels, and freeway bottlenecks can all have a big impact on your commute. How long are you willing to drive? Not just to work, but to school, church, friends, and family. We can set up your search based on average time of day traffic patterns so you can actually spend time in your new home and not feel like you're living in your car. Once we both have a clear picture of the home you'd like to own, we'll set up your search inside the MLS. This is where homes appear first, where we will find the most accurate and up-to-date data, and where we'll have access to the most detailed search filters. We can of course filter your search by location, price, square footage, bedrooms and bathrooms, but we can also filter by driving time to another location, like your work. We can filter by school zones, acceptable loan types, condition of the home, if there's a full bathroom on the main floor, if it has a fenced yard, a barn, a shop, or ADU. We can literally search by if the primary bedroom has a ceiling fan. With this being said, search results are only as accurate as the agent who entered the listing into the MLS. If they select quartz instead of granite or miss a checkbox entirely, a perfectly good home may never appear in the search results. That's why we have to be careful about over-filtering. If the criteria are too tight, we can unintentionally hide homes that would have been a great fit. Once we have finished setting up your home search, I'll send an email with all of the homes that currently match your search criteria. When new listings hit the market, usually on Thursdays and Fridays, you'll receive an automatic email directly from the MLS with new listings and listings that have had price reductions. Because these are coming directly from the MLS, make sure they don't end up in your spam folder. Let's talk about where to set the price limit for your search. If your comfort zone or pre-approval tops out at $600,000, the instinct is to search up to $600,000 and not a dollar more. Good job on being disciplined, but the list price is not always the sale price. While I don't personally believe in this pricing strategy, some sellers intentionally price high, expecting negotiations. Some homes have been sitting on the market for a few weeks with no offers, and the sellers may already be thinking about price reductions or preparing themselves to accept a lower offer. If we cap your search at your limit, we can miss homes that would have worked had we offered a bit less. I recommend we set up your search slightly above your comfort zone, not to stretch you financially, but to create options and also market awareness. When you see a few homes in the next price bracket, you start to understand what different price points actually offer. That context helps you recognize value when something well-priced comes on the market. No matter how carefully we plan our MLS search, you will still only see listings that are currently being marketed. Many of the best opportunities are not on the public market for every buyer to see. They happen because of relationships. If our MLS search isn't fruitful, I don't just wait for new listings, I shake the tree. I create opportunities for my clients. My office has over 200 agents, and I have a direct link to their listings that haven't yet hit the market. Beyond my office, I have the ability to reach thousands of local agents. You would be surprised how often targeted emails to the realtor community flushes out a great fit that was not yet available to the public. We'll also look at expired and canceled listings. When a home comes off the market, it doesn't always mean that the seller changed their mind about selling. The right offer might be gratefully accepted. If we still can't find the right fit, I'll go straight to the homeowners. I'll knock on doors, send letters, emails, and make calls. These strategies are a lot of work, but they often produce options when all else fails. Off-market opportunities often mean less competition, cleaner negotiations, and sometimes better pricing. Most of the time, going to these links isn't necessary, but if you're working with a great realtor, you shouldn't be limited to the inventory you see online. When your search is strategic, we combine three things: actively marketed homes, homes coming soon, and opportunities we can create. Here's an option many buyers overlook. Your home search doesn't have to be limited to single-family homes. You can purchase a 2 to 4 unit property, live in one unit, and rent out the others. If you occupy one unit as your primary residence, you can qualify for owner-occupied financing. This means as little as 5% down on a conventional loan. Compare that to a traditional investment property purchase, which typically requires 20 to 25% down. Here's where it gets really interesting. In many cases, 75% of the rental income from the other units can be used to help you qualify for the loan. That often means you qualify for a much larger purchase than if you were shopping for a single-family home, because the rental income can offset the monthly payment from day one. Understand, this isn't exactly passive investing. You're living on site and you may be managing tenants. There are trade-offs, but if you're interested in owning a rental property, this can be one of the most strategic ways to get started. It's not for everyone, but it's absolutely worth considering as part of your home search. There are also some important legal boundaries that limit my involvement in your home search. I'm required to follow fair housing laws. That means I cannot steer you towards or away from neighborhoods based on demographic preferences, perceived crime levels, or the ethnic or religious makeup of the neighborhood. You may have heard terms like redlining, steering, or blockbusting. Those practices caused real harm, which is why the laws are so strict. If you ask, is this a safe neighborhood, or what kind of people live here, I can't provide those answers. I'm also not allowed to filter searches based on crime statistics or similar data. What I can do is point you towards third-party resources so you can research what's important to you. School district websites, city data, police department reporting tools, community forums, and census data are all publicly available. My role is to provide access, strategy, and market insights, not to influence your personal lifestyle decisions. Some buyers want to see every listing that hits the market. They like watching price changes and tracking what goes pending quickly. Others are easily overwhelmed and would rather I filter and send only the strongest matches. Both approaches work. The key is aligning the search with your decision-making style. And the search isn't set in stone. If too many homes are coming through, we can tighten the filters. If too few are showing up, we can widen them. If your priorities shift, we adjust. This is a dynamic process, and the goal is a steady flow of quality options, not an inbox full of noise. The home search isn't about swiping on pretty pictures. It starts with clarity about what you are actually looking for, so we can filter out the noise. When you get this step right at the beginning, the search becomes focused instead of overwhelming. You stop chasing every new listing, so when the right home hits the market, you recognize it quickly because it checks the boxes and the plan we've built. Next up is one of the most exciting steps in the home buying process, touring homes. I'll cover what to expect on a home tour, etiquette that most buyers don't think about, what you should be looking for, and what I look for. And no, they're not the same thing. If you're ready to start the home search, you can schedule a home buying consultation at the link in the description below. And if this info has been helpful, check out the other videos in this series and subscribe so you don't miss the next steps in the home buying process.